Hello, everybody. I'm Jennifer Merle Hampshire, and this episode is brought to you by whispersandink.net. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be making this super cute lidded box, and we're going to be using the Come Together suite. And you're going to hear meows in the background because somebody's not happy because they're locked out of the craft room. So they'll get over it. Anyways, we're going to be using the thanks, this little section right here. And we will also be using this leaf pattern here. And I'm going to show you really cool the pumpkins that are in here. Don't be afraid to try your designer series paper to see if your die cuts will cut out the patterns in your DSP. It's not a perfect match, but I gotta tell you, it's better than fussy cutting it out. So we'll be using that. And the paper that you see here is also from that suite, which is also part of the paper share. It's called Come Together, and it has Cajun Craze, Early Espresso, Mary Merlot, Mint Macron, Pear Pizzazz, Pretty Peacock, and Whisper Whites is the colors that are in it. And now I'm going to show you the fun parts of making this box. I'm going to put it over here to the side so that you guys can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to pull up my trimmer, and I'm super, super excited because we have heard that the trimmer is coming. Now this piece of designer series paper, which has the Mint Macron and the Pear Pizzazz for the colors in it, and I'm going to guess that that's even Mint or Pear Pizzazz as well, but that's a guess on my part. Anyways, you want to watch your pattern. This first one that I did doesn't have a specific pattern, so you're going to want to watch your pattern. And our sizing for this is 6 by 5. So since we're having to watch our pattern, this we want is the bottom of the box, so we're going to do that score first. And that score, so we have the 5 inches at the top, 6 inches going down, is at 4 1/4. And we want to use our light colored score for this. And you don't have to press really hard, just do a simple glide over. You want to turn it back this way, and our scores are going to be at 6 inches at the top, are going to be 1.5 inches, 2 3/4, 4 1/4, and 5 1/2. I'm looking at my list over here, making sure I'm getting this right. So those are the scores for the box. Now we're going to do the scores for the lid. And our lid is just the reverse side of that designer series paper. So we're going to do a 1 3/8, which is between the 1/4 and the 1/2, that longer of the two, and we're going to do a light score there. And then we're going to do 2 5/8 as our second score. And that will be our lid. So we'll be done with this. Next is assembly of the box, and I have a couple of tips here for you. First off, this is the last score that we did, which was the 5 1/2. We're going to cut this bottom piece, and we're only cutting along the score marks, and I know it's hard to see because this paper is really light. And then just to make it easier for folding up the box when we go to make it, we're gonna just take a little sliver of an angle off. And when I say little sliver, you guys, I'm talking like a little sliver. And then we're going to cut up to the score line each of the scores that we did, just like that. Now, these two here, which are the bigger sections, are going to be the front of our box. So these two here and here, I'm going to just, again, cut off a sliver just to make it easier to close up the box. And I'm going to do it on this one as well. There and there. Now, because this one's going to be the back of our box, we're going to take our corner rounder and we're going to put the ends. And do you have to do this? No, you don't. I'm just kind of anal about making things look clean. So we're gonna corner rounder that. And then we're going to also corner rounder the top of this. Same way, both sides. And most of this lid's gonna be covered up, but it's just makes it look cleaner, in my opinion. So there's our box piece. I found it easiest to match everything up if you go ahead and fold on this score and burnish. And then you take this and you fold over and burnish. How did we do? Oh, look at that. Our scores are pretty spot on this one. Sometimes I'm a little off, but we all know that. All right, little bit of glue, and we're just using the multi-purpose glue. You do not need a ton. You don't want to coat it because you won't be able to get your box open. So we're going to go ahead and do that fold over. Take our bone folder, make sure that this opens just like magic, and we can fold it over the other way and burnish. Now we're going to assemble the box. Here is our corners. We're going to put those down, and we're going to do that down because our corner rounded one is going to be the one that we want to be the last piece of the puzzle, if you will. And again, no need to be crazy with the glue, but you want the ends to all match up. Press on there for a minute, flip it over. I take the bigger end of my bone folder and I kind of do a little pressing. You don't want to ruin the paper down there, but you want to make sure that the glue gets fastened on. And then here is the front of our box. So we're going to assemble the lid, whoops, wrong way, this way. So we need to do our folds here, and we'll put the glue on there, and then this will be our fold over, just like that, so that we get the gingham, the different pattern, but the inside pattern will match. So here's another tip for you, because when I did the box the first time, I glued the wrong side. This is the part we're gonna see, so we need to put glue on what's going to eventually be our outside. But because, la la la, there it is. And then we're gonna put this in here, just to the score line. Again, take the fat side of your bone folder and you're gonna rub it in there so that the glue joins up with the paper. And then here is our box, just like that. Shall we decorate? It'll be totally different than that one because look at the different colors we have here. And I'm gonna squeeze that up a little bit, there we go, so that it lays flat, just like that. And the weight, once it gets some weight in there, it'll be all right. So I have already cut a couple of leaves. Those are the maple leaves like I showed you. And then I die cut out that pumpkin. And then I have some of the reversible ribbon, the old olive with the pretty peacock. And we're going to use a little piece of that pretty peacock. And then our thanks is going to be stamped on pretty peacock. And I pulled the stamp, but I forgot to grab the marker. So we're going to grab out of our marvelous markers, we're going to grab the early espresso. And we're going to use the paintbrush end and we're going to paint the thanks. And just the thanks. Just like that. And you want to make sure, because this is a photopolymer, you have to make sure that you got all the ends and the tips. It's a little harder to cover the photopolymer than it is to do the red rubber. I don't know why, but that's what I found. So, and then we'll stamp our thanks, and yay, I hope you can see it, is ready to go. And then we're just going to trim that, just like that. And we're going to, now I did the brads on the last one, and I would like to look to see what this would look like if we glued on that library clip. What do you think about that? So we're gonna put this and this together using the library clip, maybe. Yep, I got it. There we go, just like that. And then we'll put a strip of the ribbon. And all we need is glue dots for that. And we'll put kind of just in the middle, just like this. And then maybe a dimensional with the pumpkin. And we will, I think we're just going to use a little end piece. And we're going to use just the top. And we'll put that there. And then the thanks will be with just a glue dot. Maybe. There we go. How about that? How am I going to adhere it? I hear you asking me these questions. Now, no, this would not be for the children to play with, but we'll just adhere it with a glue dot. And here's our two cute little thanks treat boxes from the Come Together Suite. A full list of all the supplies will be on my blog, and I hope you can join me next time. Thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget, if you learned anything, to share. Feel free to share to Facebook, Pinterest, or wherever. If you have any questions, there will be a link to my blog below. And have a great day getting crafty. Thank you. Bye.